Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Outers Podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen,
and we're live on a Wednesday, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
an unofficial sport.
what about?
A bullet ball extreme, extreme, extreme. And it's time to get into some podcasting. Leave us 5-star reviews.
Yes, please.
Okay. You go on Apple Podcasts and you just leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate them. We love them. We
Yeah, no
read them
matter
on
where you are in the
Saturday.
world, we get them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, whatever country. If you're listening to the sound of our voice, leave us a 5-star review. We would love to read and hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just makes everything dope.
It does.
So hopefully y'all will do that. Did I already say the official weapon of the show?
The taser,
An unofficial sport.
bullet ball.
A bullet ball extreme, 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 extreme. And I guess we can start getting into things. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I
Okay,
am. I'm doing good.
cool. I'm doing good too. I had for some reason my elbow on my right arm just started hurting,
Oh
and it
snap!
felt like I hyperextended my arm. Like I couldn't. It wouldn't let me bend it. Point. It wouldn't let me put my arm out straight.
Oh
Like
no.
it's always been at the elbow. It was worse yesterday, but it's kind of going away today. And I think I'm just old. I think I just slept on it wrong because I wasn't doing
Mhm.
anything rigorous or whatever. It just
Nope, you don't have to be doing anything. Your body's like, oh, I don't like that.
yeah. I think the last time this happened, it was like I want to say I did something to my ankle, or I just took a nap and I woke up and it felt like I had sprained my ankle. But then I don't know, like later on that night or whatever, it felt fine. But for some reason, it just started. It was just acting like that.
it was just it was just like no, no. The like what was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, I went and I looked in the mirror and I thought it was a string in my head and I pulled it and it was gray hair. I was like, oh, okay, we decided we're gonna stay here. I was just pulling at it. I was like, it's attached to the head. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah,
Do I order it? What do I do with it? I was like, shit, I'm just gonna let it grow. I don't care.
it's like shit just be happening.
Right, because I
You
didn't
know?
expect that. Because it was just like as you walk around, all kinds of shit, fall in your hair or get in your way. So, and I just knew it wouldn't, my natural hair color is black. So it just wasn't black. So that's why I was standing out. And when
Yeah,
I tugged it, it was like, no, bitch, I'm attached to the scalp and never letting go. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't, it don't bother me at all.
mhm,
Uh, I think it goes silver and then gray or something like that. I don't know what the color code is, but your mom was
mhm.
telling me it has like a series that it goes through. I'm gonna let it do whatever it's gonna do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let it do whatever it's gonna do, but it's just one of those things where it's kind of weird, where it's just like I was chilling, everything was fine, and then
Say I was
boom.
all right, then I wasn't.
Yeah, like I just like I think I remember I had to pee because I was like half asleep. I had to pee. I think I used the bathroom. I came back to lay down, and I laid down with like my arm outstretched and kind of hanging off the bed. And I knew, and some in my back of my brain, I think was like, this is gonna hurt your arm. But I feel like I was like, oh, I'll be all right. I'll roll over or
You was
something.
like,
And
I'll be
then
good.
I just woke up that morning. It was like kind of feeling tight, and I was like, "Huh, this is weird." And then I got to work, and it got a little tighter. To eventually, I was like, "Yo, this kind of hurts. What's going on? Did I tear a ligament or some shit?" I was googling stuff. I was like, "I don't know. Like, somebody got to know what this is."
Right, that's how I feel. So somebody got to know what's happening and what's going on because I had talked to your mama about gray hairs, in your head on top of your head, and she was like, "Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
special type of which I didn't know this because I've never had any gray hairs before." But she was telling me that there's a special type of shampoo
Mhm.
that people with gray hair use if they want their grays not to be like dull, if they want them to
Yeah.
kind of pop. I was like, why? She was like, because with the everything you use in your hair, it kind of does your grays out. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So
Mhm.
you learn something new every day. Yeah, you know what? Life is something else. You get to a point that you're like these fucking hormones, and then you get old, you be like these fucking hormones, because the hormones fuck with you, and then you're like, and now the hormones, my body aches. What's
Mhm.
happening?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just like I don't know if it's hormones. It was just my it was just my elbow was hurting, and then I mean it still hurts a little bit, but then last night when I came home, it was like a longer day at work, and there was like a bunch of work that needed to be done on something, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do it or someone else, and it was like a whole long ass thing. And so I came home and I was already kind of mentally tired, and it was
Mhm.
like but then I was like, my arm, I don't even want to do a podcast. Like it doesn't hurt my arm at all to hold it like this, but it was like any other place to put my arm hurting. I was like, I'll just think I'll just call it a night. Like this is just a
Oh,
whole
that's why
day.
you was like, nope, not tonight.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I was like, it's fine, and I think tomorrow, I mean tonight I feel my arm feels fine enough that it doesn't hurt as much. I'll be able to stretch it out a little bit more. But yeah, man, it was just out of nowhere. This shit just happened. And it's just like, it's just getting old, everybody.
Yes, yes, it is. Talking about being old, I'm glad that LeBron James broke that record.
Mm-hmm.
But bitch, that game was late. I was like, look here, we starting at 10:30. Let's make this quick.
Mm-hmm.
I dozed off to sleep. When I woke up, they was celebrating. I was like, well, I guess he got it, and rolled my ass back up, went on back to sleep.
Yeah, I saw the whole
It was
thing
at midnight.
live. Man, we sound like fire started the way we starting off this show.
Yes, we are.
Good
We do.
grief.
We're talking about backaches and back pains.
I didn't say backache. I had an arm ache. You talking about falling asleep, gray hair? What the fuck? You gonna start talking about soap?
Well,
All
nigga,
right,
y'all
anyway,
listen for our lives. This is our lives.
this is this the super watch segment. Good God.
Look, look, and put like this, and ain't nothing wrong with it. It's some people probably agreeing with us, and some people like y'all are grandparents, you old farts, but I don't care.
You know what? Let's just get into the show. I don't think we got no coronavirus news. Give me a second to check. I don't think though. So though, I feel like there's like two articles. Yeah, it's not worth it. No, yeah, fuck it. No, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's do coronavirus news, everybody. You know what it is.
Coronavirus. Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit, I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans, man. Damn. Looks like it's no true holiday for you and your man. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel. Coronavirus. Yeah. Fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah. So fuck that COVID-19, it's unseen, it's creeping in the air for you to breathe, yeah.
All right, here's the articles. What the fuck? Now Pocket is down. What is happening on the internet today? Hold the
I
god.
don't know. I think they were saying in the chat room that Twitter was down too.
Yeah, I just figured that was Elon Musk not paying his bills and the service. Fuck it, you know.
They're like, fuck it.
I
Y'all
mean,
done tweeted enough today. They probably capped it and been like, hey, with the cap, nobody else can post.
who the fuck is paying attention that really thinks that that's gonna go well? Like they've been leaking news that they stopped paying their bills a fucking minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And the people that's probably supposed to monitor that data, they done been fired. So when it go down, and nobody could fix it.
Right. All right. I got two articles. I'll just use my phone because for some reason Pocket on the internet doesn't want to work. But Eric Adams has ended the New York City mandate for the workers. And I think it's funny timing that it's right as Kyrie Irving leaves town for the last time. I feel like that shit was petty. I feel like that was
That was
supposed
100% petty, wasn't it?
like why today? It's like as soon as Kyrie requested that trade, it was like fine, everybody can take their mask off. He's gone. It's like when you have companies show up unannounced and you have to put the chicken in the oven in the warmer, and then you just pretend that y'all don't have no chicken, and then as soon as they leave, you put the chicken out again. Like it's time to eat dinner, everybody. I thought they'd never leave.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, that was interesting. And also the stomach flu is going around.
A stomach flu.
Yeah, the CDC warned about it. They
I thought it
said
was the regular flu. They don't go hand in hand.
no stomach flu. So have you you've never had stomach flu?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah, stomach flu. I mean, it's just um yeah, it just makes your stomach sick, diarrhea, upset stomach,
Okay.
all that stuff. The regular flu can do that, but it also most of the time has like some respiratory illness symptoms.
Mm.
But yeah, experts say the virus is taking off earlier than normal. They are concerned the illnesses could be more serious than usual after lockdowns rob children of their vital immunity for fighting viruses. Um, let's see. It can lead to dehydration in patients and even death in very serious cases.
Because
Medics
you're
say
losing fluids, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
medics say the best way to avoid infection is to wash your hands regularly, adding that hand sanitizers, which worked against COVID, do not work against norovirus. Oh,
What
so
that
you need
mean?
soap. You can't use no hand sanitizer. You need some soap.
So people think that you can just because you can do that in a pinch, but wash your hands. Pull out the disinfectants, the soap,
Yeah,
antibiotics.
it comes after the UK raised the alarm over potential boom of norovirus infections, which could overwhelm its already fragile health system. Damn, they down that bad over there?
Everybody barely making it by. Coronavirus came through and fucked the economies and told the truth on people's systems and shit. And now they're like, oh, guess we trying to make it back.
It's just wild because they be making us feel bad like America is trash out the worst one, and other Americans on the Democrat side, we don't know how to handle the pandemic. Everybody else doing it right, and then you read some shit like this, you like it seems like we're all down bad.
We all just trying to make it.
Yeah, they said in the most recent update, including data for the week ending January 9th, 2023, more than 20 outbreaks were recorded. For comparison, during the same week last year, there were 15 outbreaks. Cases are rising in all 14 states that report data to the CDC. First of all, only 14 report data now. Is that right?
Yeah, everybody stopped when they weren't required to. They just stopped that shit.
Yeah. Plus, they probably didn't have the infrastructure and shit too to continue that forever. Like the manpower and the infrastructure to do all that shit all the time. And then you got Republicans that gum up the works on purpose. Yeah, I can see why. Anyway,
And drag their feet on shit
so yeah, be careful for the stomach flu, y'all. Wash your hands.
with
Okay.
soap. With soap. Wash your hands with soap. Do like they did at the beginning of the coronavirus. How they have to teach the children. Some adults, it's amazing. Some adults didn't even know how to properly wash their hands. Like get between your fingers and shit, like up underneath your nails. Get all that shit out because you don't want that. Whatever that is, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just you know, it's just a mess out here. Let's get into some other news, everybody. Let's do some LGBTQ news. And there we go.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news.
I'm trying to take us down, I'm still around.
We legging.
I try to still shine, but we on the rise.
We lit.
What you can't do, what you do.
We lit.
Black guys, no tips.
LGBTQ news.
Woo. Man, shout out to us, okay? Because I'm on my phone now, guys, doing all the articles. Because my phone is holding the articles data while the actual the thing I use to keep articles pocket is down. So it's just me and vibes out here keeping us rolling. Motherfucking-
Shout out to the phone.
Let's motherfucking go.
Let's go.
LGBTQ news. First article. The New York Rangers slammed for bailing on Pride Night jerseys and sticks. It's a slap in the face. So the New York Rangers are a hockey team. They were supposed to be doing Pride Night. Now, hockey is probably up there with football as being one of the most conservative sports, and it's definitely up there with near the highest of one of the most whitest sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Rangers organization was like, we're going to do a Pride theme. We're going
Okay,
to
at the
use,
arena.
yeah, right, rainbow colored equipment, rainbow
Mhm.
gear, Pride gear on the Ranger stuff. You can,
Yeah, they
they
do
were
it
going
with
to
the
use,
Hornets.
yeah, they were going to use like rainbow tape instead of like normal stick tape for game jerseys and stuff. And so they do this, and all of us, and it's not even like their first time doing it.
So okay, so they've did it in the right. They've did it
They've
in the
done
past.
7 of
Yes.
these. They've done 7 of these.
Wow.
Yeah. At least. And
Okay.
they've worn the jerseys at least in 2020, 21, and 22.
Okay. No problems.
And after the game, the gear gets auctioned off to charity.
Okay.
They didn't use the gear, even though they had Pride Night this year. And they didn't directly address the matter. But it's looking like the players some of the players had refused to wear the gear and stuff. If the Rangers are saying they're going to be celebrating Pride Night, everybody needs to, for lack of a better term, come out and celebrate, said David Kilnick, the president of the Queens-based LGBT network. To give the okay to these hockey players to be homophobic is not celebrating Pride. It's the opposite of it. It's a slap in the face to the LGBT community to have players not celebrate Pride Night. To me, this will be equivalent of people not wearing Jackie Robinson's number when everyone does that in the MLB on Jackie Robinson Day. Now, I know people normally bristle at any comparison of race to sexuality, but I co-sign this. I agree. I think it is
Mm-hmm.
a similar offense to where your company has a corporate celebration of some sort that they
Right.
want to do for the culture of inclusion, and you opt out. And if it was race, we would be like, man, fuck you. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like to say that a LGBT person would be going over the top to be like, man, fuck y'all for this. I don't think so. I think that's
Mm-mm.
the gig. Y'all, and I guarantee you not everybody, even when they were like the Black Lives Matter shit or whatever for the NBA, I guarantee you all the motherfuckers don't fuck with that. That one dude, Jonathan Isaac, gets clowned to this day because he wouldn't do that, you know. So I find it to be kind of like it's not just a matter of like personal choice. It's like you got paid to do that shit, and now you want to opt out. But then I wouldn't mind you opting out and saying like this is how I feel, and then people can just hate you or like you or whatever.
Right.
What I think is cowardly is then the organization comes to the players say, "Don't wear the jerseys." Like call it off. You know what I'm saying? It would be like,
Oh no, we still would have did it. Y'all just would have had to roll with no jersey, so people could have seen the people that opted out.
yeah, like that's their right. You can't force them to do shit. You know, I
Mm-mm.
get that, but it's something weird about the company that going. They just
Because you've done this
pretending
in the
like,
past.
yeah, just pretending like, oh, this, we just weren't wearing a jersey tonight. And then the final thing I'll say is this: this is the problem with us leaving everybody to their own devices, because what it means to be conservative now versus what it even meant to be conservative like 2 years ago is different.
Not the
Now
same,
you have
right?
politicians openly saying shit like we need to get rid of all the books that have race and gender in the books for kids. We
Mm-hmm.
need to the drag queens are grooming children, you know,
Right. None
like,
of this is true.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like this is the stuff that happens when they're just left to being over there in their silo. And when you have a conservative athletic organization full of guys that are celebrities and almost their own individual companies, yeah, you're gonna run into some of this shit because some of these motherfuckers are like not Herman Edwards, god damn it, Tony Dungy, fake ass Herman Edwards, Tony Dungy. Some people are like Tony Dungy, where they're like down the rabbit hole of there's litter boxes in the bathrooms. because no one's checking, no one's talking to them. And when you just throw a fucking rainbow on top of something, but you're not actually engaging in those values and those communities, you're not doing no work within your company, you're not talking to people, it's just we gonna wear a rainbow. This is why people hate corporate activism, because
Yes.
it's so fucking surface level. And the second it gets uncomfortable, you don't put the feet to the fire and say, just do this shit. Meanwhile, we're talking about motherfucking companies like athletics. Athletics is cutthroat. Athletics is, we told you to weigh a certain amount, you're off the team. You see what I'm saying? Athletics is your jersey number must be between this and this, and you'll get a fine. So they are telling you the things that they will stand up for. And it can be something as little as don't be 5 minutes late to a meeting or you're going to get fined and cut from the team. But when it comes to this shit, they just in it for the Instagram caption, and then they gone.
Yeah, and truth be told, and people can feel how they want to feel, I'd rather you not do anything. Because when you don't put out this, be consistent. That's all I ask is you be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to do something, consistently do it and be accountable and responsible when you fuck up, because you will fuck up. And don't be scared and don't be running. Put out real apologies, or don't do shit and don't ever do shit. Don't never do shit. So, because if you don't do shit, nobody's going to hold you accountable or responsible.
And the thing is, like, stuff like this makes you believe, or just kind of confirms your belief, it's a cynical money grab. You see what I'm saying? Like, you wanted to sell some other jerseys, and this is just another night where you can sell some different team gear, because it's not because you had these values, because if that was the case, you would have related to the players, and you'd be like, either that's not an option, or you're suspended, or don't come to the game tonight. It would have been something like that. But instead, it's just fucking like, oh no, we'll just, guys, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and let them play the gay music in the arena tonight, but you don't have to like play with rainbows, and which is, I'm sorry, just so fucking funny that like y'all had a chance to play with wonderful colorful rainbows, and like fuck what it stands for. You want to wear your boring ass red, white, and blue jerseys over these dope ass rainbow colorways or whatever, just because you hate gay people that much.
Yeah, and I feel like this, when you said the activist, I feel like this just the same way I feel like about breast cancer. Because everybody pull out their pink, everybody pull out their ribbons and shit like that. But yet, if I look at the policies and the procedures, y'all actually don't give a fuck about women. You do like a lot of shit that's kind of anti-woman. So like, I'd rather you just do nothing. Right. So then you're charging me extra money for the fucking pink jersey that's here. But yet, like you said, it's one of them grabs. Then they do it for LGBTQ. They do it for women. They do it for the black people. So it's like, if you're going to be in, be all in. If you ain't, just don't. Just don't. Because like I said, this is where you fall out with the general public. Because once you start doing something, people be like, hey, you need to do more. And a lot of them are like, hey, we ain't going to do more. No, why would we do more? That's why a lot of people, when they do it, they just pick something simple, quote unquote. Or the action is a very simple thing where it doesn't require a lot of work, like post something online, or post something on your front door, but it doesn't require any actual action behind it.
Harry Potter seemingly introduces his first transgender character in a new video game. So Hogwarts Legacy is the game that's coming out. It's an action role-playing game in which players...
That's the one everybody's hype about. I've been hearing about it. From my understanding, they say it's going to be good, but we'll see.
It explores Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the nearby village of Hogsmeade, Diagon Alley, and other iconic locations featured in the books and the movies. Players are introducing some new players, including Serona Ryan, who is the owner of the Three Broomstick Pub. And though it doesn't specifically say she's trans, it's hinted by the dialogue. Hadn't seen him in years when he came in a few months ago. Serona says about a goblin player that the player is pursuing, but he recognized me instantly, which is more than I could say for some of my own classmates. Took them a second to realize I was actually a witch, not a wizard. The game releases Friday, with some people getting early access. The new character comes as a surprise to some people, since the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, has made it pretty clear on her opinions of transgender people for criticizing mainstream transgender rights movement. Yeah, I think this is interesting because I've suspected this the whole time we've talked about this particular game on the Nerd Off and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and I feel bad, for the developers and all this stuff that did the hard work, and their game's probably gonna tank. Because
A lot of
rightfully
people are
so.
like, I'm not purchasing nothing else Harry Potter, but they like, but fuck that bitch. They was like, yeah, we on y'all side. Fuck her too.
Yeah, like rightfully so. I get it if you don't want to support it. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Right.
I know other people will shit on and shame the people that buy it, but I actually am not gonna argue that either. That my personal
Mm-mm.
opinion is, it's like a lot of shit that just sucks. When a creator of something sucks and they're gonna get rich off of it, a lot of times it's just us virtue signaling to each other. But the whole time is they're gonna keep making money. There's nothing we can do about it. But um, and some people will get enjoyment, other people won't. I don't care. But what I think is interesting to me is that this is what I've always picked up, and I feel like this is confirmation. The developer is not anti-trans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. You buy these big ass licenses, you get these jobs, and it's like this terrible person's at the, and she's not even at the top. She's just siphoning off money off the property at this point. And
Correct.
I wonder if that's what can happen with her community and her, I shouldn't even say her, the Harry Potter community and the Harry Potter like creatives, if they can, because the themes and the community that has been built is the direct opposite of the shit she be standing on. So I think maybe something good can come out of this is that they take her property and make it the inclusive place that she refuses to make the world, or she refuses to give approval to, and maybe that'll salvage something. Like I said, I'm less stringent about the whether or not people buy it. I get the arguments against it, and
And I get the
don't.
arguments for it because a lot of people are like, hey, I built community off of this. Yes, she's fucked up, but I don't want to lose all my community and the things that brought me into this great world, even though they created it, just because she's fucked up.
Yeah, it just sucks. There's no
Right.
real good choice that's gonna make you feel good either way. Because people that are fans of this missing out on shit and missing out on anything new that comes from it.
Right.
It's just like it then just kind of turns to like a sucky community or something. But it just sucks. A lot of people fell in love with this shit when they were kids and they didn't know she was gonna be a terrible fucking person. So
Mm-mm.
at any rate, I think I just find it to be kind of a interesting revolutionary tactic of telling her to go fuck herself by including trans people in the game, and not in like a derisive way or something that feeds into the way that she paints transgender people, but something that actually says like, no, this is a person in the community to be loved, respected, and protected, and as equal to everybody. So fuck you. So we'll see. I don't know the reviews and stuff. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so it's not like I plan on getting it. So it's just been interesting. Um, Ron DeSantis seeks information on transgender university students. He's seeking information on university students who have sought gender affirming treatment, according to a survey released Wednesday. In a request sent to 12 state universities, top officials with the Republican governor requested data on the number of students who have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria or who have received treatments in university clinics across the state. Funny whenever they're big, they're for small government. Funny when they're ever for the person's right to privacy, because it seems like when it comes to anybody trans, they are trying to like out them and capture them. You see what I'm saying? Like they're trying to track them down.
I don't get it. Wow. Why do you need this information? Who cares?
Right. So it's not immediately clear why the administration is after transgender students' personal information, but some Democrats say the move might signal.
How is this legal?
Some
Like,
Democrats say that the move might signal a plan to scale back on health services offered to trans individuals.
mm-hmm.
I think so too. I think they would definitely try to be like, they will use this as evidence of X amount, because they're not gonna affirm the kids' bodily autonomy or anything. Kids, I mean, they're at this point they're like college age or something, but let's say kids, because I think that kind of counts. They're not gonna affirm the kids. They're definitely gonna use this to be like, this many kids were turned transgender because of the liberal media,
And it might
and
not even be true. Like it might be other stuff involved because y'all, but you don't care.
I think they're gonna also they would also like this data so they could find out what doctors are doing it, and then like persecute those doctors the way that they did with abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just fucking. Ron DeSantis is trying so hard to be like Trump, like a worse version of Trump. But he's like, what will probably save us is that he is extremely unlikable and not able to, like, he has, God forgive me, but the charisma that Trump has, Ron DeSantis has none.
Oh no, he does not. And I understand what you mean with the
Yeah,
charisma. He doesn't have that thing that strikes a fire within that fan base.
yeah,
Like you have to be a certain type of person, and he doesn't have that that base is looking for,
right,
and he literally turns a lot of that base off.
right.
So it's like if you turn that base off, honestly, you going far. Nah, I don't see it happening at all.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it too. But it just sucks. The Church of England refuses to back same-sex marriage. 2023, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
2023. The decision followed 5 years of debate and consultation. You needed to debate. You needed
Well,
5.
yeah,
This
come to
gonna
the same conclusion that you had the first time.
like, did they start this conversation and it was like, this gonna take about 5 years? Like, I don't know when
How
we're
long
gonna
is it
get
gonna
to the
take?
bottom
Three
of
to
this
five
one.
years.
Listen, we need to figure out if we are for or against this. You got about 5 years to talk about this.
That's a long time.
Right.
Y'all might as well said no from the beginning. Why you wasting them people's time?
Yeah. What I imagine day one was like, y'all with this? No, nay. Okay. The nays have it.
Right. What the fuck we going for? What we talking about for 5 years?
I don't picture them actually sitting around for for years and years being like, all
They
right,
just kept
Tuesday
delaying
is
it until
our
they
hot.
was like, we might as well say something, y'all.
I
That's
just
what
don't picture,
happened.
I just don't picture them being like, all right, well, Tuesday, that's time to get back on the agenda. We was arguing about same-sex marriage. Remember now, what was we when we took off? We're out of time, guys. All right, see you next Tuesday. These 30-second meetings, maybe we should increase these. I don't know. Everybody else is on Zoom doing meetings. Why they couldn't be on
They
Zoom?
was.
You know what that means? The meeting started before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your meeting
Because the
started
pandemic been around like 3 years. Yeah, 2023. Yeah,
yeah,
3. So
yeah.
2018, 19.
Like, your meeting started before the pandemic. Then y'all went through a pandemic where y'all was probably on Zoom. And then y'all finally was like, actually, you know what? No. I think we
thought
had
about
it
it some more. No.
I think we had it right the first 5 years, guys. No. All right, that's it for that segment. Let's get into some other news. Let's do some regular. No, wait, hold on. Let me see. Is there regular news I want to talk about? I guess, yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not? Let's do some regular ass news, everybody. That's smooth. AMC movie theaters are going to change movie ticket prices based on the seat location.
Yeah, people was hot about this, and to an extent, I understand. It won't impact us because we like sit in the spot, but they was like, fuck it, don't nobody sit down there no way, because we sit up close, and we sitting in the front. Most people won't sit up high. Most people won't sit in the middle, and so they probably done study these apps and realize those are the seats that get sold out first.
I actually do feel a way about it because I think this is going to encourage people to sit where we sit.
Okay, right. People gonna start coming down because they don't want to pay those prices.
Right. I don't want to deal with the riff-raff. Let them people sit where they
Let
want.
them sit up high. Let them sit up high and look at a big TV if they want to. I like to be closer.
I'm gonna be going to Regal. They keep this shit up. I don't want them people. I sit down there for the whole reason that don't nobody else sit down there.
Right. They keep people away from you.
Yeah. Like, y'all ain't slick with this bullshit. But yeah, they saying it's a risky gamble. Which, man, it's crazy how the movie game is just not recovering from the pandemic, even after, what they'll publish like, oh, this movie made this many millions of dollars, but it's like, well, did anybody get popcorn? Because it's looking like
Right, because
the
nine
theater
times
is
funny, the
not
movie
doing
theaters,
it.
right? They make their money off of the other shit, the popcorn, the M&Ms, and all that other shit. And so you have some people who like, yeah, I go to the movie theater, but what I'm not gonna do is eat and snack and all that shit. Like people cut down on a lot of those expenses. They go, yeah, I'll go, and we're still in the pandemic, even though everybody likes to pretend that we're not. So for some people, they're just completely opting out of the movie theaters. Like Black Panther just came out on Disney Plus. It's a lot of people go, well, I guess I'm seeing it for the first time because I didn't go to the movie theaters because I'm
Right.
not going.
Yeah. Time's up to halt operations, shift sources to legal fund. Yeah, man, I'll just say we've been talking about this for a while. I won't belabor it too much, but this is the problem with a lot of this, like a lot of the movement type activism, that, and by movement I mean like, Me Too movement sparked a lot of change, and then people got into this shit, and they're not really activists, but they kind of want to be seen as activists, or they want
I
the
want
like
the credit
activist,
without the work.
yeah, they want the activist credit that comes along with, like, I'm already a famous director, and also I'm part of the Time's Up movement. And so people took them photo ops, and people did some like short term, like, we're going to admonish this offender, this abuser, we're gonna run them out of industry, blah blah blah. Oops, that's my friend. Not him, he probably didn't do it. And so eventually you end up with this point where it's like, this work, when it is good and when it's righteous, is mostly thankless.
Yes,
Like, this is the
yes.
kind of work you do
Just a lot of
where,
you're not being celebrated. People take what you do for granted. After a while, like everything else, there's with marginalized people. People look at you, just tell you to shut the fuck up and get out their faces because they ain't bothered. Let's go on to some new shit. This is old. You still talk about the same thing. Like you consistently grinding against a wall to get shit done, and nobody wants to do that part of it.
yeah, and also you're not the good guy anymore. Like, you're held to a higher standard that's not fun. You're gonna be scrutinized, you're gonna be pushed back against. The bad people aren't gonna like you, and a lot of the people who are good or want to be good, they're not gonna like your ass either,
No, they're
because
not.
there's a lot of people that feel like, you should be perfect, and you're gonna still be human, and that means you're gonna end up being slandered, whatever, right?
Yep. And you have a lot of people, just like any other groups, that feel like you didn't deserve it. And why are you there? And they know how to do it better than you, and they could take your spot.
Right. So I think, for what a lot of this, what happens is, and this happened also with a whole lot of the George Floyd, Black Lives Matter ish movement too. And I said to people,
Mhm.
hey, go ahead and get that check while you can, because
Get it? That
these
money gonna dry up.
corporations, they not in it for real, for real. They not down for that, they not down for the get down. So like,
Mhm.
if you gonna get this 6 months of money before they reconsider, or they go through some shakeups over there, go
Yeah,
ahead
go
and
through
get
some
it.
budget change and fire them. People be like, the fuck? And start closing them accounts down. Don't
That's
give a
what
fuck.
happened with
Like,
Netflix. We watched it. The first thing to go is this kind of program normally. And
yes.
so I think the same thing happened with Time's Up. Like, one, the money's not gonna keep coming in because people love to give money to something when it's right, early on, to feel better. They just want to feel better. It's like, I gave my money to so and so. And so you had that start to dry up. Then they started finding out that some of this shit is either impractical or risky. So a lot of these people do have power within the industry. These were some powerful women. And while you're trying to do 5 or 6 movie projects, while you trying to direct your own shit, like, I remember a couple of them got called out for being like, male directors are this and that and the other. And then when it came time for them to pick directors for their projects, they picked all men, and people was like, so what's up with that? You see what I'm saying? So you can't even live up to the standard you were complaining about. Meanwhile, a lot of people need to examine, why are you complaining exactly? Are you talking about the power imbalance? Are you talking about reforming the industry in the way you want to work, the way that like Ava DuVernay does? or do you mean you just mad that your movie didn't get picked? And
Right.
you looking at every man like, how come he got a movie and I don't? And I
Hmm.
think eventually with all these movements, those people weed themselves out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because eventually they realize, listen, I was only in this to move people out of the way for my capitalistic dream.
Hmm.
But
I didn't really care about the rest of you bitches.
yeah, so I found it to be interesting that they just shut it down. They pledged a major reset following a scandal involving its leaders dealing with then Governor Andrew Cuomo amid sexual harassment allegations. The group tells the Associated Press that Time's Up is shifting the remaining funds to the independently administered Time's Up Legal Defense Fund and stopping other operations. And that's probably all it should have ever been, because at the end of the
Right.
day, it's always thankless work. And if you're not committed to that shit, I don't even know why you dabble in that. It's why I always push back when people say, Ryan and Karen, y'all are
Mm-mm.
activists. And I'm
Activists.
saying,
No,
no, the
we
fuck
are
I'm not,
not.
because I see how y'all treat them. And
No,
also
we are
I
not.
see what needs to be done for you to be a good activist. And I ain't
Hmm.
got it. I ain't got it. If y'all come at me, if I try to help somebody and then I'll saw something online where y'all was shitting on me because I didn't help them the way you wanted them to be helped, I would say something that would fuck up the whole movement. So why would I even put myself out there like that?
Agreed. And it's one of those things to where, um, yeah, when people say we're activists, no, we're not. We know we're not. We have views, we have opinions. We're not always politically correct. We don't always say the right things, and it's also one of those things where, not all of them, but a lot of them always own. They're never off, because you're always pushing and promoting and pumping and all that shit. And it's a lot of work to go behind it. And the reality is, nobody really wants to do the work, or they don't really want to do the dedication and the not getting the pats on the back and not getting the praise and not getting the worship all of the time. Like, it's a lot of days where you're going to be up all times of the day, up all times of the night, helping people and doing things, and you're exhausted and you're doing all this shit, and then somebody gonna have the nerves to talk about what you ain't doing. And one day you might be like, motherfucker, who the fuck is you and why is you talking about me? And people act like they're wrong for that, but it's like, but you don't see the things that they're doing. And then when people don't see you, people just assume that you're not doing anything, and that's not always so. Just because you don't see me don't mean I'm not doing anything. And it's one of those things that it makes you mad and makes you upset, and it's very, very frustrating, and truth be told, it's very insulting, and it's very it's very insulting to the people that have put in the work, they have put in the years, they have dedicated their lives to helping other people. Like they was like, bitch, this is what I do all of the time. Like this is my life. I have dedicated so much to this. And they be looking like, nigga, how dare you come in my motherfucking face and act like I am a goddamn nobody. So I know I'm not built for that. Could I do it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. Because I know you niggas come and say some foul shit towards me, it would be a goddamn problem.
Yeah, and then like also like a lot of like I like sometimes I'll talk to people that like want to be in that space or are in that space. And like as a person that's a bit agnostic to a lot of it, in that like I believe in some of the goals, but I don't know that people are being even fair or realistic with some of the things they arrive at, some of
Right.
the conclusions. Either way, almost every time you talk to somebody, you realize it's just two different ways of people doing shit. And it's like this person isn't trying to do what you're doing, but you think because maybe they have the same end goal or something, you feel like it's some Highlander shit and you got to take them out. But the whole thing is like a monopoly of ideas and shit. Like if this person wasn't around, they listen to me, and to me it always devolves into like, if we're being fair, people aren't going to listen to all of you. Like some people will listen to some of you, vice versa. But yeah, the Times Up thing, I think one, they couldn't handle, and this is so true of Astronomy Club had a great sketch about this on Netflix, the great show. Um, it's about people like wanting to have the change and be the new leader and be the move. But when you get there, you run into the same problems the people before you had, and then you make the same mistakes because it ain't but so many choices in the world. And then you realize the downside to even when the things that you think would work, right? So like a good example is like people that it's like we need radical transparency, or you've heard that one before. And so it's like, y'all ain't being transparent enough at the top. Okay, so you get to the top. Now you running shit. And you always the person that's like, we can't tell them that. I see why y'all was hiding that. Or you the person that, all right, I'm gonna tell them everything, and then the organization folds under you because people are like, this was happening. It's that kind of like, and I'm being very general, but it's that kind of thing where it's like, whatever it is you thought was the was the solution is never some shit no one thought of before. It's just a different way to do it, and you have to deal with different pushback. And then there's always some motherfucker under you coming up next talking about how you ain't shit. So like, it's kind of thankless, and I think that's what happened. A lot of these people ended up falling into the actual work of it and being like, oh, I can't write 7 new Netflix series and handle sexual inequality on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. You either in or out when it comes to that. I hate to be like this. Like, you have to dedicate some real time to it.
Right. They was like, we'll just zoom in once a month. It's like, this ain't a zoom in once a month problem. So yeah. Anyway, that happened very quietly, and I thought that was interesting. Also ending very quietly, Dr. Phil ending after 21 seasons.
He's been around a hot minute. 21.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we'll miss his homespun wisdom. I just hope he doesn't run for any offices.
Please
don't. I was never a huge fan of Dr. Phil. I think he's probably like most of those TV shows, probably got some scandals and kind of a quack, and might have some I think I've saw documentaries questioning his credentials and shit.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's a doctor.
Yeah. So just don't go Dr. Oz, bro, and you good with me. Y'all are somewhere chilling. I don't ever be seeing her. So
she was like, I was trying to fix everybody's life, and people gave me a hard time. She was like, well, fuck you, fix your own life. And she went off and did sunset somewhere, and I don't blame her.
U.S. intelligence confirms Chinese spy balloon was part of a global surveillance operation.
I believe that. Yeah,
we shot down a Chinese spy balloon. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I done watched too much Jack Reacher or what, but I played too much Call of Duty. I don't know, but I was like, yeah, okay, no big deal. Like everybody was like, I can't believe they shot this down and all this, and why did they wait so long and all this shit. And I was like, I mean, didn't we always assume they was doing some foul shit? And then I found out during Trump, 3 of these flew across the nation, and they weren't shut down, and he didn't alert anybody. So the Republicans that were mad at Biden, it just seemed like, well, wouldn't you be mad at your man? But they not. I don't know. I hate to sound that jaded, but as soon as I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, that sounds like a thing that's happening. What'd you think about it?
I just thought it was wild, and just hearing about it, I was like, well, why is it there, and what's happening? And then it was one of those things where they talked about the size of it. It sounds like it was humongous. I think they said it was like the size of like 3 school buses. So when niggas talking about shoot that sky, I was like, bitch, it's 3 school buses, size of 3 school buses. No, you can't shoot that shit out the sky.
Yeah, Karen, we have a lot of guns here, and what else they gonna use them for?
Yeah, they did have to make an announcement down there and down here around here in North Carolina, South Carolina, said, y'all know y'all bullets can't reach the bitch, and what goes up must come down. Stop shooting at it.
Crazy.
Right, dumbasses.
Yale changes mental health policies for students in crisis. So it worked. Remember, we talked about this a while ago in detail about how you get penalized for having a mental health crisis. Well, people challenged it, and it seems that Yale is going to try to adjust.
Okay, what's their policy now?
So instead of having a daunting admissions test and stuff to get back into school, they basically said that what did it say? They're gonna make clear to students the first priority in dealing with mental health problems should be mental health, and obviously we want people to be able to continue their education. The goal of the new policy is to make it seamless for people to be able to return. What is the thing? Let's see. I'm trying to look for the new shit though. Okay, yeah, the policies announced reverse many of the old practices. So the practices before, if y'all don't remember, were that you if you had mental health problems, you would get pushed to withdraw from the administrators, sometimes while you're still in the hospital. Those who did so had to leave campus in 72 hours or less, and they were forbidden from stepping back without a permission of the dean. Um, so many people said this caused them to lose access to therapy and healthcare from the school and the health insurance. So,
Mm.
right. So, and that's when you need it the most. And then they had the rigorous re-entry stuff. So now they're saying under new policies, students on leave can switch to affiliate coverage, which will cover out-of-network care in other states. So if you do have to take a leave, they'll still cover your mental health and doctor visits. Let's see. The new policies will now allow students to drop their course load as low as 2 classes under special circumstances, but the students can do so only if they require significant time for treatment or if the petition is approved. In the past, withdrawn students had to submit an application for reinstatement, which included letters of recommendation and proof they had remained constructively occupied during their time away. Under new policy, students returning from a medical leave of absence will submit a simplified reinstatement request that includes a letter from their clinician and a personal statement explaining why they left, the treatment they received, and why they feel ready to return. That's much more simpler and probably, it seemed like it should have always been that way.
Yeah, and it's much more reasonable.
Right.
And I don't know if this statement I'm about to say makes sense. I wonder, does it have something to do with schools like Yale, some of these prestige schools don't have a
Yeah.
problem with applications. But it
Mhm.
could be something where they're like, hey, when we do this, guess what we lose? Your money, your tuition money, when we
Mhm.
just boot you out. Like,
Yeah, could be. I think they're not running on a shortage of people though. And I think it was, I guess my hypothesis is that they want to be seen as a rigorous institution because that's really their claim to fame, is that it's hard
yeah,
to make it here. And they consider basically penalizing people who have mental health issues as proof of how good and rigorous their education is, because if you have any level of mental health issues, if you can't get it under control right away, you're not Yale material. You see what I'm saying? And I think that just becomes like a circular um argument on keeping it tough, and it just penalizes these kids for no, or these people, because some of these I'm sure are adults. It just penalizes people for no fucking reason.
right. And what you're not admitting is some people may have mental issues before they get there, and then some people get to college and they actually have mental breaks because it's so rigorous. And so it's like, you get there and something happens and you have this break, and now all of a sudden they're like, pack your shit up, you got to go within 72 hours. You're like, what?
Yeah, I think also like um they still, like, there's a reason they have this policy. They still would have
Mhm.
the right to, if like say somebody had a mental break and they were threatening people, they have
Right.
the right to get you out for the campus. That's
Of
not,
course.
but it's just you took it too far, because I think you wanted to say we're the toughest. It's impossible to graduate from here unless everything goes right. And it's like, well, it shouldn't be.
Mhm.
So, and the real reason they changed it is because that article we read, because they got,
They got
that,
embarrassed.
that's what I think happened.
It was like, and then people go, oh, you don't care about people?
Valentine's Day is almost upon us, and you can now name a cockroach after your toxic ex at the Toronto Zoo with this Valentine's Day uh gift. You go to it's it's, it's at the Toronto
Boy, you really
Zoo.
hate this. You was like, I don't want to spend money on you.
Yeah. It's
That's a huge middle finger.
Yes, it's a Toronto Zoo. Roses are red, violets are blue. If there's someone in your life that's bugging you, give them goosebumps this Valentine's Day by naming a cockroach in their honor, the Wildlife Reservancy said. A minimum donation of $25 at the zoo will allow naming a cockroach after anyone you know, or simply any name you want. The thing for me is like, who's really keeping up with these cockroach names? I feel like they just telling everybody the same cockroach as somebody ex's.
Yeah, they all look the same. How do I know?
Yeah, Pete, whatever. Like, they're not gonna keep track of it. They're not
I'm gonna
gonna be
say you're gonna
like,
tag them or something.
yeah, like if they were gonna say like, listen, if I could call back in a month and be like, what's going on with Pete? And they were like, oh yeah, Pete, he's actually met another cockroach and they had a family and they moved out to the suburbs. I'm like, God damn it. Doing too good. But I don't think they're gonna keep track of it. Like,
They be like, yeah, Pete messed around and a monkey ate him. What?
Yeah.
Well, at least we know what happened to Pete.
yeah, and I'm yes, my ex, but instead they're just gonna be like, yeah, Pete, whatever. I don't know. Whatever you think it is, They don't
You call
really
them like, who's Pete?
yeah, they don't really give a fuck about this. All right. We do have a new advertiser.
Oh shit.
Yeah, let me give them a shout out. There's a new podcast out for Black women and all those who love and care for them. The podcast is called We Flesh in This Here Space, Black Women Be. This limited 6-part series is hosted by Lisa Anderson of the Sojourner Truth Leadership Circle and artist Michaela Gaston. It explores the fullness of Black women's humanity with topics ranging from creation to singing to managing a major business. We Flesh includes incredible interviews with amazing Black women such as former Black Panther Party leaders Erica Huggins, artist Michelle Browder, and business leader and super coach Susan Callender. Here, Black women be in conversation and contemplation and just be together. New episodes are released on Mondays and they've already started. So make sure you subscribe to We Flesh wherever you get podcasts. You ready to get into some effing with Black people, Karen?
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, we just fucking with them people because they black.
We just fucking with them people because they black. Just fucking with them Black people. Just fucking with them black. Just fucking with Black people.
Hey,
Do I? It looks like the cops, and you can hear them outside of my apartment, apparently. It looks like the cops put a fake MLK quote on a police cruiser for Black History Month. Y'all.
A different one than what you showed us before?
So the first one was Black History Month for Miami.
Okay.
And it was just like a cruiser that they, put in some African colors and red, black, and green and just riding around the hood. Mm-hmm. This one is another different place in Columbus, Ohio. And on the back, you can see this quote from MLK that says, "Be the peace you wish to see in the world, Martin Luther King Jr."
Oh, that's a pill and stick too.
Well, the problem is Martin Luther King Jr. never said that.
Duh. Who said it? Did they make it up?
I don't know who said it. I just know that it's never been attributed to him.
Somebody didn't even do their research on the pre-approved Negroes. What's up with that?
Right.
They on the pre-approved list.
Introducing History One, our newest cruiser, to celebrate the achievements of African Americans and recognize their roles in history, but be on the lookout for History One in your neighborhood. I'm sorry, can you hear that, Karen? Or
nope.
No? Okay, give me a second. I thought I didn't share it the right way. Hold on. Stop sharing. Let's do this again. Share. There we go. Now it should give you the audio. This is the Twitter for them. They have an MLK speech under the unveiling of this fucking car.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
You see one day, freedom on the wall and equality.
This nation will
obviously this the I Have a Dream speech set to some lo-fi.
Lo-fi beat.
Yeah. And then here we go, y'all. Here's the truck. Oh my goodness. Sorry, didn't do that. Y'all still see it, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that a power fish? Oh no, that's the badge.
Oh my goodness. Karen, what would you give to be arrested in that?
Nothing. I do not want to be arrested in that.
And they drove it down to some type of Black history exhibit that they parked in front of. And of course it's empty at the moment because I'm sure the black people saw that cop car and said, I'm not confused. um
It's just not cute to beat it.
but you know what, Karen, if I had to be police brutality, I kind of want this to be the one. Like if you going
If you had to be.
if you listen, if you absolutely got to bust my head to the white meat, I mean, at least let me go ahead and not do it in the back of this kitted out bad boy.
Would you do this one or would you like the other one more? The other one,
I
was
mean,
more detailed.
the other one seemed like it was more detailed, and I feel like my blood wouldn't necessarily make a stain against the darkness of the paint.
No, nah, it wouldn't make
Yeah,
a no, the stain wouldn't be as big. Mm-mm.
right.
You
So
right,
I
you
think I
right.
would go with I think I would go with the other one for style. But if I want to make an impact, like the impact of my face going into the front hood, when the cops slam me in there and call me N-word, I think I go with this one.
Okay, okay, they like the SUVs.
And I'm gonna be a SVU.
Ah!
Oh my god, this is so sad. This is why I could never earnestly. This is why I have to do comedy, because already in my mind, I have written a sketch of the unveiling of one of these vehicles, and then the police beating the shit out of somebody. And I know you can't show that kind of shit on TV no more. So
No, you
obviously, I
can't.
would get canceled, and they'd be like, "Why do
We're too
black
politically
men?
correct for that
Why
now.
do black men love violence and shit like that?" I was traumatized by the
They
mere
would have had you
idea.
canceled.
But already in my mind, I've thought of 1,700 police violations that could happen in this thing that would be funny to me, that no one else would want to see because they'd be treating me like I was Kenya Bears.
Right? They want to burn shit down anytime that nigga show up. He ain't done nothing to nobody.
I just feel like they pull up to you in this, like I feel like the horn when you blow it, it goes, "I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all." And they just pull up the two black kids in the corner that are skipping rope, being like, "What are you two Negro, two
You
pickaninnies
know
doing
what
out
they,
here?"
you know what the horn be like, ain't no stopping us now.
Right. We're on the move. What you
That's
two
what happens when you hit that hum. Yeah, like I say, we couldn't do this because you know what? That song right there be playing in the background while they whooping everybody's ass. Ain't
hey,
no stopping us now.
what you two monkeys doing out here? You know, you boys from around
They be
here?
like, Rod and Karen are canceled. They got them out here whooping people's asses to the beat.
Right. Like I said, they'll have 90s hip hop, 90s hip hop for they what do you call it? Their sirens.
Yes.
Like I just feel like that's how they be pulling up on people and shit. You like, "Oh no, hey guys, we got a 1040 in front of us. Go ahead, let's turn on the sirens."
Yes.
Yeah, you mind getting out the car, boy? Like, oh, in the Black History, y'all ain't got to beat me in the Black History
Yes.
TV, are you?
Yeah, you pull up there, be like, here is something you can't understand. I could just kill a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit we'll be playing in the background. They be like,
You about,
Rod and Karen, we cannot air this.
you about to be some Black History the way we about to do your ass.
Come
They gonna
on.
teach this in schools, but yeah. Anyway, 0 to 100.
That's a it get 2 scores, it gets a 0 because it's funny.
Mhm.
But it actually gets 100. Or either what be happening is people be running and jumping and placing crisscross jump while they like jumping over shit. I'm sorry, I'm terrible, y'all.
I would say, honestly, man, I give it like a 75. Like, this is not what, even the people who believe in retraining the police, this is not what they want the money to go to.
Right.
Like, I don't want you to just violate my rights in the X-Clan mobile. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
And a souped up better version
yeah, you beat me with a
without
night.
twist on it.
You beat me with a nightstick, but it's okay because DOS Effects had a similar medallion. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't
I
think
just
so.
don't. I don't like it. Like what
Coming in here
precinct?
with the African colors.
Y'all didn't tell me what you arrested me for. Shut up, boy. What precinct are you taking me at least? To the east, my brother, to the east.
Now y'all would see why the ideas that we have would never be aired.
Oh, let's see. Let's do another one. White man. It's never good when it starts with that for the title, right?
Never good.
Oh, when the
You don't say never good.
When the first letters of the article is telling you the person's race, isn't some bad happened.
you know, normally they if it's black and brown, they tell you up front. But normally white people they kind of.
But even if they tell you, even if it's black or brown, it's never good. It's like something bad. Even if it's like black man assaulted by police, like whatever. Whenever they start with the race of the person right away,
never good. Whatever it's about to go down here from the beginning.
Yeah. So, white man attacks a black YouTube prankster for grabbing his luggage at the airport and pretending to run off with it.
What?
Ooh,
I don't know now. I mean, because I would get mad at a YouTube pranking on my black ass too. I might call him a nigga too. Fucking with me. I'm out of my goddamn business.
We can watch the video. Here's the video. Here.
Let go of my hair. Let go of my hair. Calm down. You're getting somebody to come. I'm not gonna fight you. You assaulted me. No, you assaulted over us. No.
Get this man's camera, please.
Yeah. Come here, baby. You sit over here.
Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me, buddy. Don't touch me. I didn't touch you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
So we see a white man grabbing a black kid by a black dude by the hair and grabbing his luggage and then taking it from I guess he must have just taken it from the dude. The black dude is like, you assaulted me. And then this other person that's filming it seems to be the person that was supposed to be filming the prank. You see these on TikTok and Facebook.
Oh, don't fucking prank me. Like niggas think that shit be funny, but when y'all gonna get fucked up, don't do this shit to random people that's not in on the goddamn jokes.
Yeah, also at the airport grabbing people's luggage, which is
people already have anxiety and shit. Like, come on.
Well, I was gonna point out extremely dangerous and illegal.
Yes.
Like they tell you that all the time because if something happens where that thing is out of your hands or somebody put something in it or whatever, they normally hold you liable. Let's see how this ends.
Don't touch me, bro. Don't touch me. Don't touch me, sir.
And now looks like they're arresting the man who had his luggage taken now.
This shit went blurry on the camera.
The prankster dude is filming it, and now the black dude is out. He's no longer in custody of the police or whatever. He's actually talking with it too.
Relax. Get down on your belly. Get down on your belly. Cooperate. Get out. Oh. Are you fucking kidding me?
I would be upset too.
Mm-hmm.
I would be upset too. You fucked with me, fucking around with me. I'm getting arrested, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be mad too. It's not funny.
Grabbing your property at the airport.
Right. How else am I supposed to respond?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't care that you pull my hair, but you just doing too much.
We wouldn't have had a conversation if you'd have left me alone.
I just said that was my bag, and he got super mad. Oh, it's the police! And then he kept attacking me, and he was attacking me for the cameraman. And then he kept telling me to stop, and he just swinging his thing.
Black dude is explaining all this to the cops, and this is the first time I've ever seen this in my life. The cops are believing the black dude.
Whole thing distraught. They gonna Mrs. Uber and everything. Fuck you.
All right, so that's the whole thing. I'm not gonna lie though, that the problem looks like whatever happened, the dude got so fucking mad he couldn't even like use his words, or he's just one of those weirdo angry white people. He couldn't even use his words to explain what happened, so he ended up being the one getting arrested, even though they pranked him.
Right, you fucked with me. I will sue the goddamn shit out of you. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, he was pretending to steal the luggage. As a result, the older man ended up attacking him. So yeah, it's just I guess 0 to 100. That was basically the whole thing.
I'm not trying to find. This is one where I'm with the white man on this one. Shuck and jive, all you fuck with me at the goddamn airport, it's gonna be a motherfucking problem. Leave people alone.
Yeah, I give it a 0 as well. I thought the most interesting part was the racialized framing of the article, pointing out like, oh, white man grabs a black man. I'm like, yeah, okay. But this could have also just been reported as YouTube prankster gets, like a man arrested for attacking YouTube prank. Like once she threw the race in there, I started being like, now what's your goal here? To make me have to like, are you trying to make me align with this black man who wouldn't bother this dude who was minding his fucking business? And like, is that what you're trying? I'm supposed to just be like, well, it's a black man, or are you doing the opposite, which is to make me be like, this is how black people be. So next time I see a black person getting attacked somewhere, I'm gonna just assume they was running a prank. Like,
and my thing is this: you're doing a prank, you have an X factor, a person that's not actually in on the joke. You do not know how people are going to respond. Then you act like they assaulted you when you the one that fucking started the interaction in the first goddamn place. Right. Leave people alone. I will sue you, and I will sue the airport. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, let's get into some Guess the Race.
This time we're Guess the Race. This time we're Guess the Race. This time we're Guess the Race. This time we're Guess the Race.
All right, it's Guess the Race time. We go all around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved. Karen in the chat room, play along. Oh shit, you can't hear this audio. Give me 1 second. They play along, and of course they're racist. All right, and you're playing home along with them. My guess is you're racist too. Okay, the apple don't fall far from the racist tree. That's what I've seen. So it's just easy for me to believe that's what's happening. All right, let me see if you can hear this audio after the commercial is done playing. In 3, 2, 1.
For the past year, Diane Gordon leaves her home and makes the trek.
Can you hear that?
Okay. To VC Market, where she works.
5 times a week.
A few miles down Highland Road.
2.7 to be exact.
She knows because for the past year, she walks that route. Her car broke down last February. She was walking home on January 21st when she stopped at the BP for a snack. Before she could set foot inside,
looked down on the ground and found a plastic bag that had a large sum of money in it.
So she grabbed it.
When you turned it over, there was even more money.
And knew exactly what she needed to do.
This doesn't belong to me. I need to call a police officer.
It never really crossed our mind to do anything other than turn it over.
White Lake Police came out to investigate.
Inside the bag was also wedding cards. So we come to find out that this is actually, these are gifts from a wedding that had occurred that day.
And of course, the cash.
I think it was $14,780 worth of cash.
Money that Diane could certainly put to use.
Especially under the idea that she doesn't have transportation.
Outside of freezing cold days like today, Diane says for the most part, she doesn't really mind the walk to work, but not having a vehicle means she's missing out on other things in life.
Grandkids have sporting events she can't drive to. Just jumping in the car and driving over to see them doesn't happen.
Could have made my life a whole lot easier, but it's okay. I mean, it didn't belong to me.
Police tracked down the newlyweds and returned the money.
It was to a young couple that had just got married that day. It belonged to them.
Then turned their attention back to Diane.
One of our officers' wives actually set up a GoFundMe.
Because, as they put it,
the world could probably use a few more Diane.
I'm floored. I mean, I didn't do anything special.
If you'd like to help get Diane a car, you could find that link to the fundraiser at fox2detroit.com. All she asks is,
you find something that doesn't belong to you, don't keep it.
All right, Karen. Diane Gordon guessed the race.
White.
Okay, Karen's going right. What going white? Let's see. White, Mayo. Man, I'd struggle with this, but yeah, right thing to do. Nice work, toothless rural white person lady. Damn.
Oh
no. she better turn into Meadow Soprano Money white. This is so white. Poor dumb white. Oh, damn, Cypher blocking that blessing white. Correct answer is white. The correct answer is white. I think everyone got it right. God damn. Let's see if I can find her picture. That's her there. Man, that's very nice of her. I once again, I think I would do this, but out of not for the good reason she did it, out of altruism, only because I'm so scared of finding
somebody gonna
a
come
lot
looking
of
for this money.
Just immediately, like I think I got the money, and then just the God, I can't remember the name of this Korean drama that I watched on Netflix, but what this dude literally did, this was the plot. He found some cash, but in a car where two gangsters had killed each other, and the cash was in there, and so he took it and tried to like hide it and whatever, and man, it was so hard. He like almost immediately got caught. And I know a lot of y'all have watched TV and y'all just have made up these realities where y'all are the slickest, smoothest motherfuckers in the world that know all the right criminals to do everything. But I was like, I can't even front. I'd be like him. I'd be Googling money laundering and shit. I'd immediately get caught. I'd be going to
they just looked at your Google search.
Yeah, I'd be going to the wrong gangsters and shit. Like, damn, it's a 60% fee on this. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep the money. And they're like, oh, it's all right. Go ahead, keep it. Roderick Morrow of 19725 Chrisley Oak. Like I just feel like I'd immediately get caught, man. So like, but I feel it, y'all. I feel y'all are the best, and y'all would never get caught.
I'm not no smart criminal.
Yeah.
So
you ain't got to write up here and tell me how you the best. I know we're all the best. And unless you got proof, and how would you? You know what I'm saying? How would I know? You know what I'm saying? The only way for you to have proof would prove that you are not good at this.
We'll be reading an article on you.
Because I got 50,000 right now in the trunk. Like, okay, well, you probably a dead person now for telling me that, but good luck.
Somebody gonna come looking for that money. They're gonna have real guns.
All right, let's go to the next one. Altoona, Pennsylvania. A home invader kidnapped a man and claimed, I'm Batman, according to a police report.
Invasions, a kidnapped man and a stolen truck in Altoona. Tonight, local and state police say the man responsible is behind bars. Altoona, Logan Township, and state police arrested 37-year-old Robert Powers yesterday. They say Powers forced his way into two homes on 6th Avenue before taking a man hostage and dragging him into a home on 7th Avenue a short time later. After stealing the man's money and turning his gas stove on high, Powers forced him outside into his truck and drove towards the Juniata section, topping 100 miles per hour. Powers allegedly crashed into a Jeep on Grandview Road, where he broke into a fourth home and threatened the owner, who was able to call 911. Police say he admitted that he may have done drugs when he was taken into custody. He faces a slew of charges.
May have. All right.
I might have, maybe, possibility.
Now I think about it, it does feel like a drug-induced.
You feel like drugs may have been involved. I can't confirm or deny it. What, sir? White.
All right. Karen's going with white. Let's check the chat room. The cocaine bear, white.
Oh no.
Downey Jr. back in the drugs, white. Definitely on drugs, white. The fuck kind of drugs is that? Too many stops, white. Terry McGinnis. Come at me, bro, white. Cocaine. May have done drugs, you don't say. Crimson neck, speed, white. Crimson neck is good. The next one, I mean, the correct answer is white. I'm Batman, Can y'all see this picture of him? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. It
Oh
looked like he
my.
hurt
Did
his
he
head.
tattooed up? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he's somebody who, the decision making is probably
Yeah.
all over the place.
Like he got tattoos where your hairline should be. It's probably not. It's probably
No, there's something wrong with that.
yeah. Like you got to embrace that and be an eccentric person, but you could also be dangerous. I don't know. It's like you
There
give
could also be drugs involved.
Yeah. So good luck to him. All right, let's go ahead and get into the bonus round. Karen right now is, I believe, 2 for 2.
Yay!
Bitch was white. I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
Gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big guy, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Oh man, a lot going on in Pennsylvania today. Okay. On this segment, because we got another story out of PA. Apparently, they get down up there.
Apparently, they do.
A man has poured bleach, jam, and syrup on the Walmart floor due to customer service in Berks County, Pennsylvania.
What is this combination supposed to do?
Well, I mean, I think that's what you toss salad with if you're in prison, but I don't know what else they're supposed to do on the house.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's something special about this combo.
Now, first you bleach the butthole, then you get some jam, and then you finish it off with syrup. I think that's
apparently so.
I think that's what the toss salad man said on that special. Walmart employees were bewildered by a man's action after he purposely spilled numerous liquids in multiple aisle floors because of having to wait in line too long and bad customer service. First of all, motherfucker, you went to Walmart.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Walmart, you might as well schedule your whole rest of your day is gone because you're gonna be in that bitch.
If you that high strong, go to Target.
Come on. You want to be in and out? Walmart is not the place. If I go to Walmart, I'm like, you know what? Let me just put my patience cap on because I'm gonna be in here for a while.
Right? Walmart will laugh at you when you start complaining, like, you came up in here for some customer service. Hey, hold up, Dion, come on over here, man. You ain't gonna believe this.
You thought you was gonna get in and out of here in 15 minutes.
Tell them what you said to me. Tell them what you said to me. I'm just saying, I was looking for some good customer service. He's looking for some customer service.
He wants to treat him like somebody. Can you believe that?
Well, the line was too long. You didn't go to self-checkout. You didn't go to self-checkout. Now we only keep 2 registers of the 37 registers open at all times. You knew that,
right? And the self-checkout gonna be a mile long because everybody trying to self-checkout now.
You supposed to come here because you do like lines and you ain't got nothing to do.
There's nothing else to do, Sal, but wait in this goddamn line.
Well, you got some questions. Man, you better go on Google for that shit. Well, you ain't go on Amazon for you came out here. Anyway.
They be looking at, you could order this shit online now, right? We ship it to the house. You probably have a better experience.
And we ain't gonna ship the right thing because it's Walmart, man. You better
it's Walmart.
You think this is a Best Buy, nigga? On 2 separate incidents, Tilden Township police say 46-year-old Leonard Rep had walked into the Tilden store with a 13-year-old of no relation to him.
So random ass 13-year-old.
Shade. Like they didn't even imply that anything untoward was happening. Just like this loser, this loser,
with some random ass kid
hanging out with a 36-year-old. Allegedly, Rep was a friend of the teen's family. Officials say the first incident was on January 14th after Rep had purposely poured bleach, motor oil, dish soap, maple syrup, and jam jelly onto jam or jelly onto the numerous aisle floors.
There's a difference because jelly don't shake like that.
Well, I won't lie, as a 13-year-old, I'd be excited to hang out with this guy. I'd be like, every time we go to Walmart, you don't know, it's gonna be crazy.
Something happening.
It turned the motherfucking Truth or Dare up in this. Is that the name of that game? Double Dare. It turned the motherfucking Double Dare up in there. He was sliming everything. Then police say he returned January 20th and poured bleach, pickles, and hot sauce on the floors of multiple aisles.
kidding.
Yeah,
Wasted
New York.
all of the food.
New York, they call that chopped cheese.
Oh no.
They call that a bacon, egg, and bleach.
Yes, you never know.
Bacon, egg.
They just dropped off the front part of it.
Let me get a bleach egg cheese with pickles and hot sauce on it.
After ketchup. You're like, what?
After releasing surveillance photos, police were able to identify him and interview him January 30th. In the interview, authorities say he admitted to both incidents, saying he did so because of bad customer service and having to wait in long lines. Ooh, just telling them okay. Yeah, I did it.
And I do it again if I had to wait in these long ass lines. Well, sir, not at twice as long.
It's like, sir, yeah, we don't have a long line to jail.
Right this way.
He told police he did not.
This first class to jail for you.
He told the police he did not think what he was doing was criminal.
What? You're destroying that shit. Whatever.
Is this a legit officer? I didn't know I couldn't do that. In a strange turn of events, however, Rep said that his bad experience happened at Lehigh Valley Wal-Mart, but that he decided to take out his frustration on a different Wal-Mart in Tilden. So
shit! So you're the traveling Walmart bandit? The fuck is this?
He treated them like a gang, like oh, they tried to they fucked me up over off of Rosecrans, but wait till I get on another street, I'm gonna fuck them up over there. Rep was later arrested February 2nd. Oh, so not the day he admitted to this during the interview. They just went home like, oh, that was a crazy day. We'll revisit that.
We need to investigate.
And now the cops are like, after all that confession, I need arrest. I can't be arresting people today. Today he was arrested February 2nd, is now being charged with corruption of minors, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. Guess the race.
What was his name again?
His name is Leonard Rep.
Leonard Rep. I'm going white.
All right, let's check the chat room. Double wide Clyde White, entitled white man. I don't feel like black folks will let their kid hang out with a non-related 36-year-old man. This is a white. Gave him a few days to think about what he did. White and white. The last one is gotta go home white. Oh, it's given. I want to talk to the manager. Energy white. The correct answer is white. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, when they was like, we'll holler at you in a few days, white.
Yeah, and he was with
that poor kid.
He was with that kid both times. The kid is more well behaved than him, but you do want to start asking questions about the kid now. It's like who
and the parents, and why are you letting your child hang around this man who don't know how to behave?
It's fucking delinquent, you know?
Right.
Good grief. Oh, I mean, listen, it's hard to trust, 50-year-old men that like to hang out with teens. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I know that's Leonardo DiCaprio's entire dating profile, but
oh no. Oh
no. but it's weird. Just saying. Can I at least say I'm not king shaming? I'm just saying it's weird. Leonardo listens to the show. He caught a stray. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, that didn't come from me, Leo.
Yeah.
Now this time, Rod actually did say it. I didn't say it. So if y'all got something to say, y'all can write directly to Rod.
Aaron's fine with you dating 19-year-olds. Okay, it's just y'all consenting adults. I hear it. All right, time to get into this. Okay.
Now
why am I here? Sorry, that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's like, this took a hard left turn. What's happening here?
Right in front of my teenager. A man suffered a cut.
Good one.
A man suffered a cut.
Right in front of my TikTok.
A man suffered a cut. That's what I want. I want him. He could keep dating 19-year-olds. I don't mind. But then he got to let them post him on TikTok all the time, looking like an old ass man, trying to do them dances and shit. His arm hurting like my arm and shit. I will watch that. Anyway, a man suffered a cut to his arm after he says he was attacked by a naked man with a sword.
Oh, naked. Okay.
Yeah, it's happened Thursday.
Did they have 3 swords then? Because, you know, one of them attached.
I think there would be 2, but I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said he had one in both hands. Okay, well then 2.
Dream big. Okay. There's a naked man with a sword. Thursday, February 2nd, this is when this happened. The victim suffered a large, deep laceration on his left forearm. Told police he was checking an abandoned home that previously belonged to a friend of his when a naked man came out of the home and struck him with a sword. Okay. Everything sounded sketchy already. Everything sounded sketchy already. You was checking on an abandoned home your friend used to live in. Naked man was in there with a sword.
To the drug house.
Yeah,
somebody was already high and they attack you naked.
Yeah,
that's how this sounds.
This sounds like some meth mess. Okay. It feels a little methy up in here. Okay, and I'm not saying that with a lisp. The man with the sword told police he was sleeping in the home when he was startled by a breaking in noise from the window of the home. He then noticed a man outside the window where he put the sword out of the window as a warning. Now, see, I'm closer to believing him, but I think he absolutely cut him on purpose. He then told the police that the man hit him with a bat. Blood was found on the sword. Both men were taken to the hospital. They found no record of either man being in the county jail. So,
did anybody find out why he was naked in the first place? Like, I mean, what's happening here?
I think meth. I think we all knew what the answer was.
We already got to the bottom of it, but I was like, we're doing this whole investigation and nobody was like, hey, this is why he was naked.
Cops ain't want to do that much. The cops was like,
they was like,
no, do this much. Like, what am I trying to prove by doing a whole bunch of fucking investigation? Now I gotta do more paperwork on meth collection. Let's just send these 2 meth heads to the jail. I mean, to the hospital. Neither one gonna press charges.
Open and shut case.
Right. So I don't even blame them. All right. They probably were familiar with them.
I bet you they knew first name basis for everybody.
Oh, you talking about the meth house over off of Long Street? Yeah, let's go ahead, head down there. When they got the 911 call from them.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
That's probably what it was. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening to this one. Time for me to go watch the Hornets. And Ken, thank you for doing this with me as always. I love you.
Sir. Love you, do.
And we'll talk to you till next time. So, and I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Have a good night.